I guess I'll let everybody in. How's everybody doing? There they go. I'll let Josh in too. I'm feeling generous.
Good afternoon.
Hey, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Hello,
How
hello.
are you?
Hey,
Great.
All right. Happy holidays, all.
You
happy
too.
holidays. Y'all can hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hello.
Is that Miss Heather? Hi, Miss Heather.
Hey, how are you?
All right. How are you today?
Doing well.
Good, good.
Wrapping stuff.
Heather, you can ignore that text.
Hey, Scott. Got us a newbie.
Well, not real new. I'm old new.
There you go. Aren't we all?
I've been around a while, just not around.
A pretty good turnout. Oh, but Devin, what are you doing over there, man? Mine works in the dock. Devin's having technical difficulties. He needs a technician over there.
Oh no.
I'll put a work order in for you. I'm going to edit out the first 10 minutes of this meeting. So you're on your NUC. So what are you plugging into your NUC? Oh, well, I think we could have plugged that in later. Hello, who just joined us?
I'm here.
I got you, Alyssa. We're trying to take roll here. I got an iPhone at the bottom. I don't know who belongs to.
You got me?
Yours says your name. It says Chris's iPhone. This one just says iPhone.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Uh-oh, we lost. No, you're still there. Who's on the
It's-
iPhone?
It's probably mine. It's Craig Jackson.
Oh, hey, Craig. How's it going, man?
Hey,
I'm going to rename you. Well, Heather, I seem to remember Devin trying to hurry me up on this meeting. I seem way more prepared than him. No, we ain't got video or audio on you. There we go.
And audio?
Yep, if you'll tilt your screen back. There we
Is
go.
how's the difference between the webcam on the NUC and the webcam on the laptop?
Can't really tell. Come forward to maybe a half inch. I checked Cedric out with the background.
It's a
All
chill
right.
vibe.
There you
So-
go. Devin, I'm going to turn it over to you, man.
Alrighty, y'all. So today, we're going to be learning all about the improvements this year in Linux and Linux accessibility.
Make sure everybody knows what Linux is.
Do what?
Make sure everybody knows what Linux is.
Oh, I was going to get into that. So Linux is basically a free and open source operating system. An operating system is basically the skeleton that holds up everything else on your computer. So whenever you start your computer, after the hardware checks and everything, the operating system is what loads first. So then you're presented with your desktop and your menus and all that kind of stuff to choose a program to run. So while Windows and Mac are both made by companies, Linux is made by volunteers and people and the community, basically. So it gives a kind of alternative to the for-profit, costly licensing, all that kind of stuff of the other systems. And it's the accessibility has gotten better slowly, more slowly so than the Windows and Mac, but it's still improving and improving quite a bit nowadays. It's a lot better than a few years ago even. So let's get into it. So the first thing I'll talk about is the Arch Linux distribution. Basically, that is an advanced distribution of Linux. Let's explain what a distribution is. A distribution of Linux is basically a version of Linux that is tailored to a specific community or purpose. They've got distributions for learning. They've got distributions for security testing. They've got distributions, for different looks and feels. They've got one that looks like the Mac. They've got one that looks like Windows, stuff like that. So the Arch Linux distribution is kind of a do-it-yourself distribution. Basically, you install it all manually, you set it up manually, and people have built off that. Installers that are a little bit more beginner-friendly, stuff like that. So in the last few months, the Arch Linux installation has become accessible. Before, you had to get a special version from blind Linux users who use Arch to have it be accessible. Now, if you press the down arrow key and enter as the installer boots, you get speech. And if you plug in a Braille display, you get Braille. So that's pretty good. Okay, so I've gotten all that. So the next thing is the Raspberry Pi. And unfortunately, I'm not talking about food. I'm talking about the inexpensive, tiny computer that is the Raspberry Pi computer. Basically, it's a computer that starts at about $40, maybe even less, but basically $40. And it's all it is the computer. It feels like a credit card almost, and it's that small. You can put it into a case, which basically gives it it's like a phone case, but it has a fan and stuff like that on it to make it a more complete computer, because you wouldn't want it overheating.
Is it something like the ones that you have like in the office, like in the main building, kind of? Or no?
It's kind of like that, but a heck of a lot smaller.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's pretty small, and basically, the operating system that's on that is called Raspbian. Of course, you can put others on there, other versions of Linux or even Android on there, but it has gotten some accessibility improvements. Before this year, the screen reader for Linux graphical interfaces, Orca, wouldn't work. So they've gotten that all working, and they've improved that a lot. Now you can not only install Orca, but you can press a keyboard command, I believe it's Control-Alt-Space, to install and start Orca from anywhere on the system. So that's really, really good. And if you wait a minute after starting the Raspberry Pi with a Raspbian, it'll actually tell you, without you having to do anything, how to get Orca up and going. So not only can you press that keyboard command, you don't even have to remember it. It'll tell you without you having to do anything. So it's really good.
Devin,
And yeah,
real quick, I'm just going, for everybody that can see, I've got a Raspberry Pi in my hand.
That's really small.
Yeah, it's bare bones, like he said. You have
So
to
you
order the
have
power
to-
supply, the
yeah.
case,
Oh,
everything.
what's the
separate.
what's the core? Like, what kind of core is it? 'Cause I see in the middle there.
it's ARM.
Oh, okay. So it
Do
can't
you
handle
hook it
like a
up to
Core
something?
i7. Does it handle a Core i7 or it doesn't handle?
No, it's not Intel. It's ARM.
It's ARM.
ARM.
It's a whole different architecture.
Yeah,
Oh, so
Um,
that's what phones use. Okay.
yeah, it's what
Yes,
phones
like
use.
phones. Actually, what didn't? Who's starting to use a new ARM processor?
Apple.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and also Windows. Windows is using a ARM processor in their Microsoft Surface X. It still runs Windows, but it's mainly using an ARM processor, and people are still updating on that.
And they're actually in the latest Windows Insiders, they're getting emulation support for Intel, so you can run Intel apps on ARM processors.
Kind of sucks it doesn't run Photoshop though. It runs it, but it's very, very laggy on it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you get your new Apple MacBook Pro, and it probably will run Photoshop on that.
I wish I had the MacBook money.
Me too.
Yeah.
But those new processors are really crazy nice.
Yeah.
Can't wait until we can get Linux on
So
them.
does the Raspberry Pi, does it go like inside, or do you hook it up to something?
You can do pretty much anything with it. We've got one in the classroom hanging off our 3D printer, basically as a
Okay.
host. It's running a tiny web server and a webcam. so we can monitor our print jobs.
Right.
That's
You're going to talk
cool.
about the 400, right, Devin?
Ooh.
Oh yeah, yeah. So they have also recently released basically it's called the Raspberry 400, and it's a keyboard with a Raspberry Pi within it. So
Oh.
all you have to do is plug it up and plug it into a monitor, and maybe get a mouse or whatever.
Or a TV.
Do what?
Or a TV.
Or a TV.
Yeah, or a TV. Sometimes
Oh, yeah.
TVs aren't
And
the
you
best thing
can-
for computers.
Yeah, and you can use it as a desktop. But the computer
Oh.
is inside the keyboard, so you can take it with you. You can, just plug it up anywhere. Anywhere there's a power outlet and a TV or anything, and you can basically take your computer with you, just like a little laptop, but without the battery.
So
but
how many USB ports does it have on them? Like, if you know?
it has 4. There's
Oh, does it have
yeah.
like how many HDMIs?
I believe there's just one.
the 400, there's 2, Devin.
Oh, there's 2 on
Oh,
the
there's 2
400.
HDMIs?
On the 400, yeah. So you can drive 2 displays with those things.
Oh, okay.
Now it only has 4 gigs of RAM, but Linux is
Oh.
light enough to where it's not too bad to use it.
It's 4 gigs of RAM.
But on the regular Raspberry Pi, there's 8. Yeah. If you get the Raspberry Pi by itself, and and you can always plug it in like a desktop or whatever, and
That'll be useful if you're going for a job with that. Just you don't even need no laptop. You just be like, oh, I got my keyboard right here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's pretty nice. And if you're totally blind, you don't need a monitor. All you need is a power outlet. So, now you will need some USB headphones. And so because
does it have
doesn't have
Bluetooth?
yes, it does.
Oh, okay, that works.
Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, yeah.
Figure it in.
And yeah, so you can run anything from a command line interface to a whole graphical interface with it's got Google Chrome, it's got all these different apps that you'd normally use, and the Raspberry Pi 400 is I want to say $120. Might be $140.
$120.
Yeah, it might be 140, but that's
Wow,
really
that's not a
good
bad
for-
price.
Yeah, it's really good for a
Yeah, it's actually cheap.
computer. Yeah,
As long as it's not $550, we're good.
yeah. It's not. It's not the AirPods Pro. So for those who can see a little bit, a magnifier was also added to Raspbian, and you can launch that with Control Alt M. And
Oh, that's
you can,
cool.
Yeah, you can use it just like Zoom Text or whatever. I'm not saying it's as powerful as Zoom Text, but you can definitely magnify the screen. You can have it track the keyboard focus as you type or navigate, stuff like that. So they've got they're starting to really get on up there in accessibility.
So where do you go
So-
and actually get this? Where do you get it, or is it not out yet?
It might be on Amazon, but you can
Oh.
definitely get it from
The Raspberry Pi?
Pi website. Yeah. So you could probably get it from Amazon or Newegg or
Amazon's
but
where's my
definitely-
shopping goes.
yeah.
Gotta get that Prime shipping.
Uh-huh.
What's the like what as far as on screen readers, what's the best screen reader that works with the Raspberry Pi?
So I'm using it right now because I'm using my Linux laptop right now. So the Raspberry Pi runs Linux, and so but you can also run Android, of course. But so basically, the screen reader is Orca that you'll be using on the desktop. Now, if you plan to jump into the console, the command line, then you'll be using either SpeakUp, which is an older one, or Fenrir, which is a newer screen reader for the console, but mainly Orca. And you can use that with Chromium, with Firefox, with whatever you want to use it with. And they've got really good. The audio on Linux is really good, actually. And you can get programs like VLC and stuff like that to play your movies or your music with, stuff like that, and it all works pretty well with the screen reader. And another thing that works really well. Okay, so this is not for the Raspberry Pi. It's just for regular Linux. Basically, if you install Linux on a computer, you can get this. But hopefully it'll be for the Raspberry Pi at some point when Wine and everything gets all ported. So as Linux is created by the community, so is other projects. So one guy that works on blind Linux stuff has created a program called the Audio Game Manager. So audio games are basically games for blind people that instead of video, it uses sound. So basically, he has taken audio games, which are usually released on Windows, and ported them all, well, most of them, to Linux. Well, and there are plenty of them already there, and most of them are free. Some of them you have to pay for and get a key to unlock them. But so basically, you can run these Windows audio games on Linux computers. So while you can always do web browsing and email and document making and all that kind of work stuff, you can also have some fun too. So that pretty much encapsulates all of what I use Linux for.
So if Raspberry updated, would it be updated to Cherry Pie then?
No, it would be chocolate pie.
Chocolate pie with some strawberries.
Yeah, it does.
What about
sound
banana
good.
cake pie?
Banana cake pie. Oh, that sounds.
Oh
really
gosh, that sounds good.
Good. Man. Y'all ever had Mississippi mud cake?
I've not.
It's so good. It has marshmallows. I love marshmallows.
It's like a dream.
All right.
Okay.
So, any questions?
I don't, but it's really kind of interesting with the keyboard
Okay.
and the technology in it.
Yeah.
It kind of, you don't even have to build a PC. You can just go and buy, one of those, but that depends on how your workflow works and how you're, using the computer. But it's good for, for visually impaired people as well as blind people. So that's good for $140.
And you can also learn how to program on it too.
Oh, that's actually kind of neat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
they've got a
got
lot
all
of
the stuff.
uses.
Yeah. It's got all the kind of stuff a programmer would need, but it's also
Yeah.
user friendly too.
Yeah, they were developed in England as a way to get a cheap way to get computers into as many students' hands as possible. And
Right.
they've made their way into hobbyists. And I don't know, I've got like 7 or 8 of them at the house doing different things.
Imagine trying to get Apple in that keyboard. No, that would be kind of nice, but that would be
know
cheaper.
that, yeah.
Spending $15,000 for a Mac, But
I know.
Man, if they made a keyboard, it would be $550.
I I'd rather buy that than the headphones.
Shoot, yeah.
Cause that would be more useful and practical than some headphones that doesn't do a lot of features with them. So that's just my opinion. So
All right, is that everything,
All
Devin?
right. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yo, I'm sorry, my phone's being ugly, but that would be so cool for if the MacBook was a lot cheaper.
All right. So, no other questions?
Let's wrap this up.
All
let's
right.
wrap it up. What's
All
So,
right, guys, it's good to see y'all. I guess if we don't talk to you before 2021, y'all have a Merry Christmas and a
you
good
too?
holiday. Y'all be safe. It's good to hear from everybody. And if y'all need anything, let us know.
Yeah, Joe, I'll spam your email
All
for you.
right
Don't
then,
worry.
sir.
Merry Christmas.
Everybody have a safe and happy holiday.
Y'all
You
too.
too.
Have a Merry Christmas.
Merry
Merry
Bye,
Christmas.
y'all.
Merry Christmas as well.
Joe, I'll spam your email. Don't worry.
All right, I'm counting on it.
Okay. Y'all have a good day. Y'all have
You
a Merry
too.
Christmas.
Y'all too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.